Good evening, my name is Garrett, and welcome to The Last Call. Tonight's final drink is from High West. This is their blend of straight bourbon whiskeys finished in Barbados Rum barrels, coming in at a 50% ABV. Now, I'm a fan of High West, as you can see down in the corner there, but more recently, they've kind of been moving and shaking things up at the distillery, it seems, and I'm kind of curious how things are holding up for them, because I am a huge fan of their double rye finishes. About 90% of them down there are double ryes. This caught my eye mainly for two reasons. A, I'm a rum barrel finish guy through and through. I love it. And B, it was just at a really good price. But the little bit of information we do know on this, it's a blend of bourbon whiskeys. They used to take a blend of their distillate, and it usually was like MGP's whiskey, blended that together, and then the finishing time on there. Unfortunately, we don't know what they're doing on the blend itself. I'm going to assume they're probably adhering similar to that, but unfortunately, they've taken away the little sticker on the side that told us finishing times. And that breaks my heart a lot, because I love seeing how long they were finished for, because it really can change how a whiskey will taste in that. On top of that, this is one of the first bourbons I've purchased from them with a finishing. I tend to lean heavier on the ryes because they were just beautiful, and a lot of people were kind of back and forth if the bourbons were good or not. But with their new cask collection out here, let's see how well they do with a Barbados Rum barrel. Let's get into it. I will always compliment them. These bottles are gorgeous. I am a huge fan of them, and I just love their kind of imperfected look, the little wavies on there. Awesome. Anyway, as always, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, hang around for a bit, become a member if you'd like. If you're interested in some other reviews over High West products that I've done, links to those videos will be up above and down below. But yeah, here in my area, we're seeing a lot of these go on sale to really low pricing. I've seen the Chardonnay cask finished one, and I've been very tempted on that too. Let me know down below in the comment section if you've had it yet, and if you like it. Beautiful dark color. Looks like a good bourbon in the glass, let's be honest there. Alrighty, let's go for notes. Okay, on the nose. Very nice. A little high in the ABV. It's got some warmth in there. Woo. Hoping that kind of airs itself out, because it's rather potent. Oh man, I don't know. That is, I might sneeze from this one. Man. So, it is got some deep caramels going on here. You get an oakiness, almost like oaky bitter tannins. And I'm finding that rum funk in there, which I do appreciate. And that rum spiciness is coming through. Kind of that cinnamon and clove, tropical notes going on. And that kind of underlying funk of a good rum. Not like Jamaican rum funk, but it's got some good qualities going on here. Also getting a bit of like a tea note, like a black tea going on, which is very interesting for a bourbon for me. And it has aired out a bit, but I will say on the nose, it definitely comes across warmer than 50%. If anything, like you get those kind of deep, rich caramels, that charriness from the cask, it is definitely double barreled. You can tell that, because it is very potent in that oaky dark notes. I'm getting some richer baking spices now starting to show up from the bourbon itself. A little corn sweetness in there. On the nose, I'm going to give him credit. Besides the ABV warmth, it doesn't come across harsh, no offness on anything. Just a really solid bourbon. And it's got that kind of underlying sweet corn butteriness going on with that charriness from that oak cask. But then the rum finish in there is starting to show up a bit on the nose. Let's see how it goes across the taste. Let's find out. Yeah. I'll be honest. At least on my first initial sip here, not my favorite High West pour. Now, there's some good characteristics going on here, don't get me wrong. You're getting that kind of classic bourbon right up front with that kind of the deep charriness, the oakiness, the bit of caramel going in there. The rum barrel is showing up in here in the mid palate to the finish, bringing a little bit of those tropical notes, bringing in more of the spices from a rum cask, but it does bring across a bit of sweetness in there as well. The linger on here is very minimal. It doesn't have a long finish with a little bit of almost like I'm getting like apples and maybe a little bit of mango going on here, a little pepperiness. Yeah, it's okay. It's not bad by all means. Second sip here, getting a little bit more of the corn sweetness, and that makes me feel like this is probably a younger whiskey going on in here. It's got a bit of bitterness in here, and it's starting to open up with more not so pleasant on the palate. It's just not what I expected from their High West products. I have their rye finished in a rum barrel, and it is one of the best rum finished ryes out there I've had. Phenomenal. So I had high hopes for this one, and it's really fallen flat for me. I mean, there's some good qualities in here, don't get me wrong, but after you've had some of their great finishes, this doesn't live up to those hypes, especially for their pricing they're asking on these. I mean, right from the get-go, you're getting that kind of classic bourbon, brown sugars, the oakiness, the charriness, and then for me, it comes across kind of youthful. The mid to late palate here is where that rum barrel is starting to show up with a bit of spiciness, underlayers of that molasses going on. That funk that I was getting on the nose doesn't necessarily come across in the taste, but then you're getting a little bit of like tropical fruits. For me, it's coming across kind of like a mango. Like, it's not bad, but again, when you taste some of their other products they've released in the past, just doesn't have the same hype behind it. My third sip here, I'm just going to be honest with you. If this was their first time doing rum barrel finishing, I'd probably be a little more lenient on them, going, okay, I see what you were going for. You fell a little flat here. Try it again. High West, you need to try again. That is not what I was expecting from your quality. I'll be just flat out honest. Like, even the palate just kind of goes flat and makes it just kind of forgettable. And maybe that's the bourbon itself, but then that just tells me don't focus on your bourbons for finishing, or B, work on that blend, because that is going to get very much forgotten in my bottles, especially in the rum barrel finishing market. Wow, very uneventful bottle. So let's talk about a grade for it. Look, the price on these are not cheap. I paid $50 for it on sale. And typically they go for like $65 to $70 plus. I wouldn't pay that. I'm kind of disappointed paying $50 for it. To just be frank, it's like a C plus. The nose did come across a little ABV hot, but that happens. Sometimes it just needs time to air out. But I'll be honest, at $50, I don't see the value here. There's a lot better rum barrel finished bourbons, or let alone ryes, done better, in my opinion. It's okay at best. And again, this is coming from somebody that's got, 10 plus bottles of High West over there. I'm hoping that they can figure things out and get back on the right track if this is their going forward method on things. But nonetheless, C plus in my book. If anything, get a pour of it before you drop $70 plus on it. I just think that's crazy. So yeah, there you have it, folks. High West, blend of straight bourbon and whiskeys finished in Barbados rum barrels. If you have any questions about the bottle itself, let me know down in the comment section below. I will do my best to answer it. And if you have any specific spirits I should go looking for, also let me know down below. Love doing these reviews and sharing with you the experience at home. And as always, may your last drink of the night be the best one.
You know, and I even like it might not.